Hello and welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. We are jumping right in here with the lovely gentleman on Death and Taxes, Plains into Aether Vial, classic opening, versus Basic Land Swamp on Sneak and Show, leading out with Tropical Island into Ponder. A little less classic, this green splash. I'm not actually sure what it's for, but we've got a show and a show and tell on turn 2, and shows an omniscience, and does he have a no response? So this Relic Warden takes down the Leonin Relic Warden, snags this Omniscience prior to any type of game-breaking plays that Basic Land Swamp can make. Typically, you want to have a Cunning Wish or something to go along with that. That would normally be the case in the Eureka Tell build. However, Sneak and Show still has sneak attacks and just a slightly different build, so despite the Tropical Island, this is actually a sneak attack variant of Show and Tell. The green splash just in there, likely for Veil of Summer and some sideboard possibilities. Mishra's Factory on the other side. I mean, this is some spicy cards here for the lovely gentleman. We've got Factory and the Leonin Relic Warden main deck. City of Traders going to the bin here. I don't know if he's already got more mana in hand. Ponder. Alright, that's very interesting here without totally knowing the hand. This is a really interesting situation. So basically a land sacrificed to be able to ponder again on the same turn. However, now that you're down a land, one of your cantrips has to be converted into a land. So you're kind of cutting down on your total number of business cards that you can end up with. Let's see how this goes. Oh, is that a Polluted Delta? Okay, so he's got the Delta, so he's got the 3 mana. And so Brainstorm will not be able to get rid of all of the cards necessarily. He's going to need Show and Tell and something else. Oh, he doesn't need to get rid of anything. He's got a Gristlebrand. Oh, but there's a Caracas on the other side. So this is no good. Looks like a Sanctum Prelate. Is that a foil Prelate? Is that just really bad glare? That would be baller. Sanctum Prelate as a foil is crazy expensive. A Grizzlebrand activation in response, but I think that's actually lethal on the other side. What do we got? Because Batterskull is going to come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. Oh, yeah, no, he's super dead. He is super, super dead. And vialing in an extra Stoneforge just for lulz. Sword of Fire and Ice, why not? Pretty sure this is just, yeah. I mean, unless I miscounted, I would be surprised. It's just going to be a lethal swing here. Yeah, I mean, he's tapped out. Let's move on. Here we go. Game number 2. Lovely gentleman taking down game number 1. We'll see what this looks like. So, Eureka Tell's a deck that I've played quite a bit of. Matt Orfanello really refined that list a bit. I've helped tweak it, as has Adam Brennan. Both of those guys play a whole bunch in the shop in Better Days, and can't wait for that to come back. But as it stands, Sneak and Show a very different deck. So Eureka Tell, much more about Omniscience, being able to use Cunning Wish in response to any type of Relic Warden, Red Blast, anything that could kill your Omniscience. Any type of enter the battlefield effect like Ashen Rider, you can just respond with Cunning Wish and win the game. That is not the case here with Sneak and Show. You really are just, I guess, best case casting Emrakul off of it, so it needs to stick around with you having priority. So no cards that they put in off of their hand. If it is an instant or something like that, once you put in Omniscience, you still would be able to cast your Emrakul because you'll have priority. But you're really worried about enter the battlefield effects there, and those can rob you of the win for sure. Decks like Reanimator have Ashen Rider. Some blue decks play cards like Ancient of Treachery. As we saw, Relic Warden here for Death and Taxes. Mass Confusion we've seen in Goblins builds. So there are a lot of ETBs as a consideration when you're winning with Omniscience. And having a kill that doesn't require your creatures sticking around is pretty solid. And Cunning Wish overall also allows for a lot of disruption and pushing through your kill, especially when everything's being cast for free. So the Lovely Gentleman up a game here. Basic Land Swamp going to be on the play versus, I believe for this particular build, going to be one of the toughest matchups in the format. Death and Taxes, a very bad matchup for Sneak and Show. And I don't think it gets any better with this Green Splash. It probably makes it even more vulnerable in terms of the amount of basic lands. You got Tropical Islands in there, which are probably not going to serve much of a benefit. Basic Swamp, or Basic Island able to be grabbed by Team Basic Land Swamp. And he's got a Ponder. He does have Preordain in hand as well. Ponder gonna go ahead and shuffle. Not happy with any of that stuff on top. And draws a Scalding Tarn. He's got the Soul Land already in hand. Karakas into Aether Vial. A little bit of bad news right off the bat there with that Karakas. That's going to make some of the easier lines useless in terms of just show and telling in something like an Emrakul. Though that really is like plan D for a deck like this. Ideally, you're going to want a kill that uses Omniscience or Sneak Attack, either giving your guys haste or getting some enter the battlefield abilities. Not ETB, it's actually on cast with Emrakul. Of course, being able to draw 7 cards that you can cast all for free, much, much better than paying the mana for them. And there's the Show and Tell. And looks like he's got Lotus Petal and a Soul Land. I'm surprised he didn't just go for something there. Does he not have... Well, I guess we'll see what he has. I thought he had Omniscience and Emrakul. I must have seen it wrong. Oh, there's an Omniscience. Preordain. Oh, that's what it was. It was on top of the library that we saw an Omniscience. And I think it's going to be go time here. Sorry about that buzz in. Hopefully that won't be possible for the rest of the day here recording commentary. Just muted that. Basic Island. And I think we're going to be good to go here. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petals still in hand. And Omniscience grabs Relic Warden again. Or Relic Warden grabs Omniscience again. Lotus Petal not coming out early, also interesting. If a Thalia comes down, it's just going to make that Lotus Petal super awkward. I don't know if he's saving it in his hand to try and put back with a potential Brainstorm he might draw. Oh, and is that just... Looks like an Abrade right off the top. That's a very fortunate draw. Should just be good to go now. Abrade. That's just going to get this Omniscience back, and it's going to be off to the races. He's got 14 life. Gristlebrand can draw 7. Oh, and he's vialing it in response. So he casts Gristlebrand. That does give the lovely gentleman a chance to respond. So Phyrexian Revoker keeping the situation under control here. Not going to allow for 7 cards to be drawn. And Karakas is just going to be able to bounce it back to hand. Wow, that is brutal. Gristlebrand just makes an appearance and goes on his way. City of Traders and Lotus Petal in hand. Gonna need something off the top here. Another Abrade, something to get rid of this Phyrexian Revoker. I'm not sure what that card was. We've got a Vial hitting Omniscience with the Flicker Wisp. It's got to actually cast Ponder. Ooh. Is that Magmatic Sinkhole or Pyroclasm? Guess we'll see in a sec. 2 mana. Oh, it's Pyroclasm. Oof. And that is a benefit of this sneak attack build. They actually have a whole bunch of answers here. We've seen Pyroclasm and Abrade. Both of them doing massive amounts of work here. That is a 3-for-1. And when it bounces back, Basic Land Swamp's going to be in pretty good shape here. Even with this Karakas on board, drawing 7 cards likely going to be enough. 3 mana for a Sword of Fire and Ice. Gristlebrand. Basic Land Swamp going down to 5. So if there's any creature at all that can be vialed in, Basic Land Swamp will die if they don't have anything good. But they've got the best thing they could have here in the form of Emrakul. That is going to be an extra turn and lethal damage. So Basic Land Swamp coming back through adversity there, finding the win in game number 2. We're off to game 3. He's going to be on the draw. Death and Taxes so far proving to be a very difficult matchup, but it may not be unwinnable. All right, Deafening Silence right out of the gate here. Lovely gentleman with a very disruptive card. Lotus Petal being played for Basic Land Swamp. This is a spicy Death and Taxes list. It looks like Silent Sackland. What's the name of that thing? Forgetting the name of it, but it's you can tap for black or white, and you can pay 1 and sack it to draw a card. It's the Horizon Land for black and white. Containment Priest coming in. And it looks like Sneak Attack already in hand here for Basic Land Swamp. They could have fired it off. I do agree with holding on to that until you can ooh, I don't love this. So Lotus Petal going by the wayside to get out this Abrade a turn earlier. He's already got the Volcanic in hand. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Offhand, that feels very unlikely to be the correct line. Thalia is going to prevent you from doing anything on your turn. Anyways, yeah, there's really not much of a difference. He could have just abraded on his turn instead. Yeah, I feel like this is a Lotus Petal just kind of thrown away there. A basic island being returned to hand to Daze. And that is just to save a little bit of life as well. Could have actually tapped the Ancient Tomb and cast Daze, keeping that basic island in play. And now a Sneak Attack with no red mana to put in a creature. Does he not have the creature yet? No, he's got the Gristlebrand. Yeah, I don't know. Sneak attack really wants to come down and be activated the same turn. This does give a full turn cycle for the lovely gentleman to respond, and respond they do with the Phyrexian Revoker, shutting down the 4-mana enchantment. If you don't do that, that Revoker ends up being a card in hand to be put in off of a Show and Tell and another Lotus Petal. Gonna need some type of Pyroclasm effect here. Stoneforge Mystic. If it wasn't a 2-turn clock, it is now. I guess it was a 2-turn clock either way. Well, the Mystic makes it 5 damage, so yeah, it was pretty close. The Ancient Tomb wouldn't have been usable. But let's see what we got here. Rashad and Port. That's a pretty solid card here. Going to be able to go after the colored mana. And a Weathered Wayfarer. All sorts of crazy cards in this Death and Taxes list. And there is the handshake. And we are done with that match. What a crazy back and forth match. Lots of high drama, but ultimately Death and Taxes proves to be a real thorn in the side for Sneak and Show. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.